Okay, well, I'm Helios, and this is me trying to read Malicious Compliance. Who knows how this is gonna go. So, first story. You want the employee discount? Okay. I work at Insert Pizza in Place here. That opened up last year in November. Just yesterday, I had this happen to me. EW is entitled Witch, and his manager, and me is bleh. Now to the story. All this week we've had a deal going online where you get half off all pizzas you order. We weren't very busy that night, so I was about to get off 3 hours early, but decided to serve one last customer who came in after I collected my tips, but before I actually clocked out. Just a side note, my manager was behind me at the table, cutting the last 4 pizzas for this order. Me. Hello, are you here to pick up? Yes, I am. I ordered online. Okay, what's the name for the order? Karen. Okay, that will be total price of order. Will be paying with cash or card. What? Why is it so much? I thought everything was half off. I'm sorry, ma'am, but the only pizzas are half off. We go back and forth with her trying to get a lower price, but eventually she demands, "Get me the employee discount." I smile as I know it would just make her order cost more. Okay, but I'll have to take off all the customer discounts put on. Go ahead, take them off, she says, smiling as though she'd won a prize. I take the discount for her off, ordering online off, and gave her my own smile as I say, "That will be even more expensive price. Would you be paying with cash or card?" What? Why is it so expensive? Get me your manager. Manager finishes the last pizza and comes round the heating rack. I'm the manager, and I've listened to everything that's been said. Tells you how loud this woman was, because the oven is running all the time, and it's pretty loud if you're right next to it. Suffice to say, the woman ended up paying the higher price. Okay, I need to fix the mess of others, but enjoy your unemployment. So a few years back, I was working for a data cabling DC company that did a lot of work for big business, BB, in their large factory. Data cabling had 3 groups of technicians, thus 3 managers. Mine was very nice, but one group was managed by the witch, W, who liked to hang around and make her presence known, even when not needed. A few more important details, then on to the malicious compliance. Since big business had so many contractors and competing contracts, we always had to fill out 2 timesheets, one for big business, describing the work we did on their terms, so the company could get paid, and one for the company for items not in the contract with BB, drive time, cleanup, delays, etc. On a particular day, 2 groups of technicians were called out in an area of the factory where we had just completed some work. The witch started screaming about how terrible we were, and it was this kind of sloppy work that was not acceptable. Even something about fixing it on our own time. Luckily for us, our main competitor used an unusual colored zip tie, and I was able to bring this to the attention of the manager while the witch was losing her mind. While Witch was catching her breath, my manager pointed out this fact to her, and I was able to show the Witch the work we did, although in the same general area, not the same path. And I also cheerfully added how nice and clean our work looked. This only seemed to enrage W, as if it was the first time she was wrong in her entire life, and could not handle being on record. She started to leave and turned around red-faced and sweaty and screamed, "I don't care if this is not our work. We need to clean up their work so we don't get called out by the big business." As the senior manager of the group, she made it very clear that she had the final say. And at last, the malicious compliance. With so much work going on all over the factory, there were plenty of opportunity to clean up, cables, and my group started adding 30 to 45 minutes per job on our own company timesheet for this compliance, since there was no code for us to get paid by big business for this work. This large amount of work also delayed our billing department from seeing this for about 6 weeks. Our group was called in to explain our timesheets, and fortunately, all the managers were there to hear our story. We started to explain that hundreds of man-hours and supplies we were wasting. My manager collaborated our instructions, told the instructions from the witch, and had documentation to show that the witch approved this time and material. Billing went to corporate with tens of thousands of lost dollars, put it all on the witch, who was promptly fired. Yeah, I don't think it's someone's job to clean up another company's mess. Unless they're actually getting paid for it by the big business. Like, no. To be honest, this is pretty malicious. Because most companies won't pay you unless it's something actually bad that needs fixing. For her to say that they will get revenge, that they will be punished by the big business is wrong. Most businesses will not notice, as they'll probably have split sections on where each company is allowed to work. I'm going to be honest with this one, I'm not exactly sure what the point of it is, because with most malicious compliance, there is some reason why they say something. Like the previous one, they wanted to make sure the job looked right, even though it wasn't done by their own company. But for this, I'm very, very confused. See if you can explain it to me in the comments. So, a year ago, I worked part-time in a small-time bridal boutique. I needed a minimum of 20 hours per week in order to take a job, and the store owner agreed. It turned out the boss was a pretty terrible person, but I was hanging in there. One day, on the way out, I said the ill-fated, "See you tomorrow," because that was my usual day to work. The store owner told me that she didn't actually have me on the schedule for tomorrow, or any time, and didn't know if or when I would be. I reminded her that I needed to work at least part-time. She just repeated that she had no idea when or if I'd have hours again. I went straight home and applied for unemployment. In the US, I'm guessing where this guy lives, an employer pays for unemployment insurance through the state, and the more claims there, the higher the rate their pay goes. It is in the employer's best interest to keep their unemployment claims Sorry, I cannot speak. To keep their unemployment claims down. Employers also get a notice from their state each time a claim is filed and can dispute them if the claim is illegitimate. A week and a half goes by and I get a call. From here on, she'll be known as BB, or Bad Boss, and I'll just be me. Why did you file for unemployment? I'm not approving that. Then, when you told me I didn't have hours and you didn't know when I would, you laid me off. I didn't lay you off. You aren't laid off. Oh, my mistake. When do you have me rescheduled? I told you I don't have you scheduled. I still don't know when you will be. This is over a week later from the original point. Okay, I was working for you, and now I'm not. You made the decision that I wouldn't work anymore. That means you laid me off. The boss was speechless. So I'll be collecting unemployment benefits, which will be approved by the state whether or not you approve of it, because it was your decision that caused me to be unemployed. Okay. The boss said nothing, and I just said, okay, take care. Yeah, I'm still not sure. I'm really not sure. Because... Oh, there is someone else with a similar story. But no, there's no way... Who benefits from this? Like, I'm guessing she wanted to lay him off, but couldn't because of the unemployment thing. Unemployment insurance. which I'm gonna admit, I may sound American, I may have lived in America, but by God, I don't understand it. I live in Scotland. Most of my stuff is very much by the government. I don't pay taxes yet because I don't pay enough. I don't get paid enough to pay taxes. I'm very much unsure, but people seem to agree. So, nah, that just confuses me. Okay, what's next? Okay, just give me the sampler. My grandparents loved to travel, so of course they had to go to New York back in the 80s. They went to a very popular Italian restaurant, I forget what it was. The place, they found out, had massive servings. They both got one plate of veal for lunch, brought back leftovers, which they had for dinner, and still had to throw out over half of it. Yeah, that sounds like American portions. This lady was sat next to them in the restaurant. She was just sitting and drinking. The waiter comes over to take her order. The lady asks for the sampler plate, and the waiter asks if she has anyone coming with her since she is totally alone at the table. To which she says, "No, now give me the sampler plate." She is told again it is definitely not a meal for one, but the waiter gets snippy, and the woman shouts, "Give me the goddamn sampler." The waiter shrugs and leaves. He comes back with 2 others. It took 3 people to carry out the many huge dishes. The lady sits there gawking as the waiter sets the food on the table, and he leaves with a smirk on his face. I'm gonna be honest. That sounds like American portions, even in the 80s. Because as a kid there, I could not have the kids' meal and finish it. Like those. But no, sampler plates, I think, they're mainly appetizers for large pieces, like groups of people. Because, well, as a sampler, there's no point in getting, like, tons of wee plates for one person. It's very much a sharing thing. Like, it's going to like a tapas restaurant and expecting, like, to get, like, 10 plates. It's just bad. No, when I hear sampler, I very much think this isn't for one person. Plus, who exactly thought? Most of the time they have stuff like best with blank amount of people. Like, yeah. Okay, so that is Malicious Compliance. I'm very tempted to do an I don't work here lady or Tales from your server. Because to be honest, why not? Why not see what it's like to get paid to work with these types of people? And I'm not just talking about the people that are making these posts. So, yeah, this is Helios, signing out.